Hello, this is Jenna with Generosity Estate Sales, and here I am in front of 713 Timberdale in Grand Prairie, 75052. This is where our sale will be starting tomorrow at 9 a.m. And this area of town is off of I-20, a little bit north of I-20 and Robinson, right in between Robinson and Carrier. So this is a great sale. It seems like a small house, but I guarantee you it is much larger inside with a lot of things inside that you would not have even anticipated. So starting off in the front, there are a lot of pieces of iron, garden, decorative iron in the front, and there's a lot in the back as well. But when you get here, you'll see that there are some flower pots and some decorative iron, just garden pieces. These are our hours for the sale. Tomorrow it's from 9 to 3. Friday it is from 9 to 3, and then Saturday we're doing 8 to noon. So let me open this door. Coming on in, you see that we have a large caution tape because this is a sunken down living room and we don't want anyone to fall. So this is our checkout and our hold area, obviously. Right here we have some magazines. These are all old vintage and antique Cosmopolitan magazines, which are coming home with us tonight because we need to rewrap them, some of them in sleeves. Some of these are from the 1900s, so they will be in the bedroom when you come tomorrow. So walking through the house, you can see that there's a lot of antiques, a lot of vintage pieces. You have armoire, this antique wardrobe and armoire that is in the front. We have several vintage and antique chairs that are just beautiful. And you'll see we have a pricing guide right up there. We do have color coding pricing system. We don't use pricing tags. We use color coded tape, and anything over $5 gets a price on the actual item. So you'll see a lot of that as we go through our tour. We have a dining room table. We have collectors plates. She actually owned a antique booth. Not owned, she rented an antique booth. And she was, still is, she's still alive. She's just moved. She's downsizing. And so she had a Victorian aesthetic. She loved the Victorian era and decor. So you'll see a lot of that influence in a lot of these items. These chairs are awesome. They were one of the first things I saw when I walked through the door. They are antique and they are very rare. They're actually priced over $1,000 a piece on eBay if you were to buy them. We have them priced $300 and it says OBO. So if you come in tomorrow and you see OBO, that means or best offer. We do not do any discounts on day one. We do discounts on Friday for 25% off and then Saturday for 50% off. But if it says or best offer, that means we are willing to negotiate on that item. So next we go into our bar area and you see a lot of glassware. Like I said, she had an antique booth. So there are several of these pieces that are have her handwriting and price tags on them. They will not be what she asked for them in the booth, but you'll see that a lot of them do have certificates. Some of them have certificates of authenticity, and then she does explain like who the maker was and all that. So this is pretty cool. I like this ice bucket. It's not matching. These are Mikasa glasses. They just kind of go with it, which is kind of interesting. So lots of glassware. There are beautiful mirrors in the sale. And so a lot of them are vintage. And a couple of them are actually antique. They're lead. They're very, very heavy. You can tell that we have them priced to sell. But just beautiful pieces. And she has very adorable tea sets. And thank goodness at this house, she had those cute little gold displays, which I think is awesome. Okay, moving right along into the kitchen and dining and breakfast nook area, you'll see more antique furniture. This dresser is beautiful. She was also a seamstress and she sewed a lot of things. These aprons are adorable. This is a vintage high chair. It's a cute little picnic set. This chair is got good bones, but it does need to be reupholstered. So we have included this Joann Fabrics upholstery estimate yardage chart for you if you wanted to take that with you. This amazing hanging shelf is right on the wall, and these chairs are right down here. They could use a refresh and a new seat, but they are wonderful project pieces. Next, you have this amazing country blue buffet and wash basin that's not attached. It's just pink, which is a very unique color. We have another high chair. This is actually, she was working on this in the garage, I'm assuming. And so it is broken apart. You can definitely fix it, put it back together. It is adorable. And then we'll go back and look at the other one. You have lots of Tupperware, lots of actual Tupperware, and then just various paper goods, things like that, pots, pans, and just different uh, things in the kitchen. These knives are excellent knives. And then this is actually Wedgwood china, but it looks like everyday china. Very cute. Very, very, the pink and green is adorable. So going right back over here, we have our appliances. And like I said, these are all muslin dish towels. And then she made all these aprons. They are so cute. All these little handmade aprons. And again, you just have more vintage and just regular kitchenware, lots of glassware. Of course, no kitchen is complete without a Better Homes and Gardens cookbook. You have some Christmas glasses inside of there. Then you have some really cool bags of her recipes that we put together. It's just there's just something about a homemade or a handwritten recipe that's just amazing. More china, more glassware. That is Corningware right there, but it's everyday Corningware, which is great. And then you have your paper plate holders and different serving baskets for your items. Right in this pantry, we do have some indoor paint and caulking. And then this is actually the backsplash that you see back there. So there's lots of extra backsplash. Moving into the laundry room, we do not have a garage at the cell. We actually moved the items that we did have into here. So you do have some sanders, there's a Dremel set, there's lots of nails, screws, different odds and ends, light bulbs, um, different yard gardening equipment, extension cords, that great antique metal milk crate, which is awesome. And then cleaners, laundry, all of the things that you might need to come. And estate sales are great for that. So moving right along into the living room, we have two pieces of exercise equipment. We have this peddler, and then we have that gazelle, and another high chair. And then we also have a brown sectional. This coffee table is pretty cool. It extends out. I'm thinking that it was probably a dining table at one point and she lowered the legs. But even still, it's a great table to have if you wanted to do a puzzle or anything like that. We do have a robot vacuum. This is actually, that's a Holly Hobby trash can, and she actually made all these to match. So she got the fabric to match that trash can, which is very cool. And we do have several twin sheet sets and pillowcases. Right up here, we have different odds and ends. We have some lamps that need some rewiring, and they're priced to sell. We have another amazing antique wardrobe that is just beautiful. Another end or accent chair. And then we do have a couple pieces of stained glass, which are awesome. And then if you like bunnies, especially the country bunny aesthetic, this is going to be the house for you because we have lots of them here. And then moving along outside, like I said, we do have a lot of garden iron decor, which is awesome. There's a lot of really cool things back here. So if you're looking for some neat ways to decorate your garden, you're coming to the right sale. Um, just different pieces that are looking awesome. Uh, let's see. We have another potter stand. We do have some cat travel. Um, well, there's a litter box. We do have cat travel back boxes, back crates. What am I looking for? The word I'm looking for. There's a nail gun, just different cat accessories. We've got a bench that is in need of some work. Um, we have a ladder. We have different gardening. We have some manure and some turf builder, weed control, fertilizer. We have an amazing wagon. This does need new tires, so it is priced accordingly. We do have hoses, and again, more amazing iron for decor. These are floorboards for the bottom of your car, and then some really cute pots and some lanterns for the upcoming mosquito season. So we're so excited about that in Texas, aren't we? All right, so moving back into the rest of the house. Harrison Fisher is the name of this artist that did all of these drawings, sketches, paintings. It's the aesthetic. These are all copyrighted in the early 1900s. Um, there's so many of them. We actually did not have time to see how many of these are even authenticated because they were framed so nicely. So we just priced them accordingly. And if you get an authenticated Harrison Fisher, then you are just having a great day. So we just kind of left those. There are some really pretty frames. And of course, no Victorian decor house is complete without Titanic posters. Because I was thinking she must have just loved Titanic if she loved this aesthetic, because that's exactly when this was. So, more prints. A lot of these are just prints, replications that she just had framed that were her favorite. Okay, so moving right into the primary bedroom. She does have quite a few clothes. Digging a lot of this cool, these are vintage puffy jackets circa 1980s to go with these amazing 80s boots. We got a couple of suitcases, some pants, some tops, fashion tops and t-shirt tops. Excuse me. And then we have lots of shoes. Now, these are from a couple different sales that we had because we just happen to have a lot of sales left over from my last sale. So these shoe sizes go from size 4 up to size 10 and a half. It just kind of depends on the shoe. But you can see, and she also, the lady that this house belongs to, was a dancer. She did it professionally. So there are a few very cool fashion shoes that are dance competition shoes. Then right over here you have a lot of your black suede or black pumps and sandals and things like that. We do have wingback chair right here. We do have magazine holders, which will be filled tomorrow. Got this amazing lamp, and then more prints. And then right over here, we have this awesome shelf with ceramic heels, if that is your thing. We do have some coats and then some pajamas, house coats, things like that. Now, right over here, we do have our jewelry section. There is quite a bit of jewelry and there is a lot of vintage perfume. So you can see the different, and she worked at Dillard's. So these are all collectible. Like every year she got a Dillard's pin for Christmas, which is very cool. And you can see I've kind of mixed in the perfumes, just little bitty bottles and big bottles, and very cool. We have some awesome handbags, straw handbags and things like that. We have this amazing makeup vanity with scarves. And then we have lots and lots of lace and doilies and potpourri and all of those wonderful things. In the bathroom, we have the typical bathroom things: eyeglasses, makeup, sheet sets, and the like. Okay. This house is 4 bedrooms. So moving into this room, again, she loved bunnies, country bunnies. We have another chair, and then we have another bunny table. Now these are Beanie Babies. If you're into collecting the Thai Beanie Baby, and then you have various. That's pretty cool. That's a vintage magazine, rabbit magazine. Now, one thing I did not say is that there's lots. She sold a lot of this stuff in her booth, so that's why there's so many oil lamps and things like that. And a few of these are actually uranium glass, which means that they are actually vintage or antique. And there are a few pieces of uranium glass throughout this house, and we've marked it so that you know. And then lots of potpourri and flower aesthetics and all of that stuff. Those are pretty cool. Those are glass doorknobs, and then some antique eyeglasses. And then moving into the closet, we have electronics. That is a 50-disc CD changer, which is awesome. We've been listening to it. You got a Blu-ray and a DVD player, an old school TV. We have a few records, not too many, some antennas. We have some cords, a boombox, lots of CDs. If you love um, Mariah Carey and Celine Dion and Michael Bolton and Yanni and that type of era of music, you are coming to the right sale for sure. We have a really awesome wooden TV console that we did not get to work, and then a few books, not too many, a couple audiobooks. This is our closet full of shelves. She had a lot of wall shelves, so they're all in here, along with a few things here and there. She does have another vacuum. So moving in here, hello, there's me. Like I said, her mother was a seamstress and so was she. So these 2 dresses are actually, the daughter thinks that they were made by her grandmother. So who knows how old they are, but they are awesome. We do have a desk and lots of office supplies. We have just phone systems, landlines. You know, landlines are making a comeback. So if you need to replenish your house with some landlines. Now, moving into this toy area, the family did opt to keep that drum set, and we just have not moved it out yet, but that is actually going to be taken by the family. But look at these amazing vintage roller skates. Um, we have, okay, so this is pretty cool. This is Chrissy and Velvet. These are the boxes that they came in. Their hair grows, okay? But she made sets of clothes for these really cool dolls. So this Velvet doll has one on, and then she has a set in her lap. So they would match like little twins. This is a bassinet, and it's got a bunch of vintage baby blankets in there, which is just so cool. And these are knitted baby tops, sweaters. Oh my gosh, they are so cute. Got a Shirley Temple paper doll book. Got some vintage crowns. You got some Barbie ornaments. And then we have some more. A lot of this is scrapbooking or photo albums, and then just empty frames. You do have some. These are very cool. These are postcards. Some of them have been written in, and some of them have not. Some of these postcards are postmarked like 1911 with actual handwriting in them. So we took the time to separate them apart. If you're into that sort of thing, this is actually a Vietnam era army dress. Slacks and top. And then we have more, that's a vintage baby blanket. And then this is, I'm not sure what school these are from, but these are great play outfits for kids if they want to look at that cute little cheerleading. And then we are in Grand Prairie, so there are a few vintage, look at that, future cheerleader 83. but we are in Grand Prairie. We're in South Grand Prairie. So there are a few SGP Warrior vintage tops from the 70s. That jacket is amazing. This is the SGP Drum Corps, SGP Rifle Corps. And then that is a cheerleading top. And then this is SGP Warrior, Warrior Band. And then, like I said, she was a professional dancer, so those are her petticoats. We do have, look at that vintage cowboy, little boy cowboy top. And then we do have this awesome Nana's Boy little thing that I would assume she made, and then a christening gown, and very cool. And then in here, oh, there's some of our postcards as well. And then you got some antique and vintage suitcases, and we are almost done. Moving right into the craft room. I think this room is very cool. There is a lot of upholstery fabric, a lot of regular fabric. We do have just miscellaneous things that she used here and there. Tons of patterns. That's our little knitting section. There are knitting needles you can see, and then there's some things that she started. There is a Singer Futura sewing machine that goes into a table. We do have an embroidery machine. That is the white Superlog model. Comes with the manual. And then look at all of these patterns. The majority of these are circa 1980s, which I think is awesome. And then look at all that fabric that we have underneath here. And then sewing patterns, we're doing $2 each, 6 for $10 or 10 for 15, because we just know that you're going to love them. And these are all ones that she did not finish. Look, some of them are needlework, some of them are crochet, some of them are quilts. It just kind of depends. And then what is this? What are the kids calling it these days? Granny core. Is this house right here. All right, we have some Christmas stuff. We have more Christmas stuff, some stockings. We've got some really cute ornaments that are brand new ornaments. And then we have more Christmas stuff. There's another vintage chair. These are very cute. A lot of these ornaments are adorable. Just really, really cute. And all these lights work. Let me turn them on. So there you go. You got some lights. All those lights do work as well. I just did not plug them in, keep them in. And then we also have lots of ribbon, lots and lots and lots of ribbon. And again, she loved the Victorian side of things. So lots of mauves. Just knock something over. Mauves, pinks, and forest greens and whites. And then you have your paints and stencils and yarn. There's some yarn right there. And then we have some different dress it up accessories and things like that. So that is this house. I hope this tour gave you a good idea of what's here. And we hope to see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. sharp. And we will see you there at 713 Timberdale in Grand Prairie. Bye.